Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. I'm Mand. I am so sorry I've been missing for a really long time on YouTube, especially. I haven't uploaded in forever. If you do want to keep up to date with me and stuff, you should follow me on Instagram. It's where I'm kind of most active, so I'll have my name in the description box below. So we have a new paranormal video, you guys. I'm so excited. These kind of take actually a bit of time to look up and research and whatnot, but today you're like, what are we talking about? So today we're going to talk about Moore Hall in County Mayo. Apparently it's a manor or a mansion that was built on land that was cursed by a druid. So grab a snack, a drink, get comfy, and we'll get into the video. Moore Hall is a family manor that is built overlooking Lough Carra in County Mayo. Now I'll try and insert some photos so you can kind of get a feel of it, but do feel free to Google it yourself. But it was built by one of the most influential families in Ireland at the time, and unfortunately it was burned down during the Irish Civil War, and it's never been restored since then. So I think that was around the 1920s, that kind of time. But we're going to get into the history of the family and kind of where the manor comes into this and the curse and all that. George Henry Moore was a prominent Irish politician in the 18th century, and he actually emigrated to Spain and then got a place in the Spanish court. He then went on to set up a business trading in brandy and wine, and that is how he made a lot of money. So he was able to come back to Ireland and build Moore Manor. Now, George had many sites to choose from when he came back to Ireland, and he decided to settle on Mucklone Hill. I'll put the name up here somewhere because my pronunciations of things are absolutely dire, but he wanted to build his manor there. And the locals had warned him, don't build your manor there, it's cursed. And the story is, back in 400 AD, the king of Connacht was killed there by his enemies, and his druid was able to escape, and he ran to Mucklone Hill. And unfortunately, he failed to outrun those that were pursuing him, and it's believed that he cursed the land there, and unfortunately he bled out onto the shore. Now, George, being the stubborn man that he was, didn't listen to the locals and still went ahead, and he wanted to build his manor on Mucklone Hill. And he got John Roberts, who built Waterford Cathedral, to build his manor. So George moved in 1795, and shortly after, he unfortunately suffered a stroke and went blind. And this is the belief that this is where the curse came in, and it kind of just spirals from here. Now, George had a son called John who trained to be a lawyer, and he actually was elected to be president of Connacht, which back in that time was 1798, was still a republic. Now, unfortunately, that was short-lived, and he was arrested and given the death penalty. So George, having a lot of money, made sure that he was able to get the best lawyers and stuff like that for his son, and he actually got his sentence down to a deportation order. But unfortunately, as John was waiting for the transport ship to come and collect him to deport him, he died from his injuries that he had received when he was arrested. And then shortly after, George passed away. So is the curse of Moore Hill true? Because seriously, tragedy just followed this family. The next owner of Moore Hall was also called George Henry Moore, and he made his money by horse racing. Now, unfortunately, that was not without its own tragedy, because in 1845, his brother Augustus was jockeying a horse in the English Grand National, and he fell off and died. Now, George went on to win the Gold Cup, is that what it's called? Yeah. the Gold Cup the next year, and he won actually quite a lot of money, and he was able to buy cattle and grain, because then around that time the famine had hit Ireland. So he used the cattle and grain to for his tenants. And it's been said that apparently no one was ever evicted from Moore Hall during the famine, which people kind of found a bit strange, but look into it yourself a bit more, otherwise this video is going to be super long. The last resident and owner of Moore Hall was George Augustus Moore, and he was the great grandson of George Moore, who built Moore Hall. And he was actually a writer, and he was one of the founders of the Abbey Theatre. Now, he was known to have many guests, and high guests too, mind you, Oscar Wilde being one of them, and W.B. Yeats. Now, he actually was living in England during the Irish Civil War, when that was on, and anti-treaty IRA kind of, they didn't agree with his cousin Morris's political stance, and they decided to burn down Moore Hall, and that was in 1923. Moore Hall pretty much stands the way it did since 1923. If you look up photos, it really looks like Mother Nature is trying to reclaim the house back to where it began, really, to be honest. Now, there has been many reports by people of like an ominous feeling when you go on the land, and there's been like reports of children's laughter, or even when they're looking into the house, that you can just feel that somebody's watching you. It's like that house has never rested, and still very much makes its presence known to anyone who visits. There's even been reports of even the forest that surrounds this hall, of like just deafening silence and ominous feelings and just creepy. Like I've read reports where people just, the hairs stood up on their arms the minute they went in. There's quite a few stories. I'd highly recommend looking them up. But it's also been noted that there is a sea creature that lives in the loch not too far from Moore Hall. I think it's Loch Cara it's called. But it's an interesting one, you guys, because, you know, Moore Hall has definitely seen its tragedies with the residents that have lived there, especially those, you know, George building it, having been warned, and then he suffered a stroke not that long after. And it's just interesting, you know, was it the Druid's curse that caused all this tragedy, really, to be honest? It just seems really tragic, like, or was it just coincidence, the times that they lived in? So you guys, that's Moore Hall. What do you guys think? Do you think it was the curse of the Druid that caused all this tragedy and mishap and even the eeriness that still sits there today? Or do you think it was just a series of unfortunate events, odd coincidences that just happened to line up? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Guys, thank you so much if you have stuck around and watched the whole thing. I can't thank you enough, and especially those of you on Instagram who left me messages and everything and were really excited. I couldn't wait to sit down. Of course, I chose the most humid day here to record, and I wore a long sleeve. Like, seriously. But yeah, I want to say thank you so much for the support and comments that I've been getting and messages. So give this video a thumbs up. If you want to share it, please feel free to do so, and let me know what you want to see next. What do you guys think? Please let me know, because this was so interesting to research and look into, and it's just mind-blowing. But I'll definitely put in some pictures of it, and yeah. So if you want to be notified, of course, when I upload, please hit the bell. And I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. We do kind of a mixed match of stuff here. So guys, have an amazing day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.